Recording in
In
progress.
service class, keep only primary logics. Try to develop secondary logic separately. So primary logic in a separate place, secondary logics in separate place. Got it, my dear? Primary logics in separate place, secondary logics in separate place. Got it, my dear? Are you understanding my statement? Now listen. At the time of development, they are separated. They are developed independent. So listen carefully. Now you have to give them as inputs to AOP enabled software. AOP enabled software like Spring AOP. Like Spring AOP. What Spring AOP will do, will generate one dynamic Java class at runtime. A Java class will be created dynamically at runtime. Java class will be created dynamically at runtime. Are you getting my point there, guys? In that class, the necessary primary and secondary logics will be mixed. And we get the object of that class. When you call methods on object of that class, both primary and secondary logics will be executed together, na boss? But tell me, mixing is happening at what time? Compile time or run time? Development time or run time? Mixing is happening at development time or run time? Dynamically at runtime. Mixing is happening dynamically at runtime. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on, everyone. What it says, development time, keep them separately. Due to AOP enabled software, this AOP enabled software generates one Java class dynamically at runtime. Their primary and secondary logics will be mixed up as needed. Are you listening my statement, guys? See, guys, AOP style programming says separate secondary logic from primary logics during the development, but apply secondary logics with primary logics dynamically at runtime. By generating in-memory proxy class, temporarily generated class at runtime dynamically, where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed. My theory and my whatever explanation I have given, that is matching or not matching. Okay, just feel about 5-star hotel tea, guys. Just feel about 5-star hotel tea. Just feel about 5-star hotel tea, guys. Just think about 5-star hotel tea, guys. I want reply. Yeah, just assume, guys. Assume when you order the tea in 5-star hotel, he will give directly tea? No. He will bring decoction separately, milk kettle separately, sugar crystal separately, ilachi powder separately, right? Come on, guys. Okay. As a customer, you should mix according to the quantity of yours just before drinking. Just before drinking. AOP style programming is also happening in the same style. Separate class having primary logic. Separate classes having different secondary logics. All these classes will be given as inputs to AOP enabled software. This AOP enabled software generates one new class dynamically at runtime, where secondary logics will be applied on primary logic as we asked, as we configured, as we requested. So that what happens, guys? Development time, primary and secondary logics are looking separately. Understanding my statement, guys? Never went to 5-star hotel? At least you might have watched it in movies now. Pankaj. Pankaj, at least you might have watched it in 5 movies. Your movies also pura. Your movies also pura. See, you may be poor, guys. Your dreams should not be poor. Your your desire should not be poor. Bill Gates always says, taking birth as poor is not your mistake, but dying as poor is definitely your mistake, right? Yes, na, boss. Super. That's fine. Think big. Think big. Java gives so many things. I am the best example for that. Whatever I am today, whatever popularity I got in the market, whatever financial security I got, whatever stability I got in life, whatever circle I got, 90% things happened because of Java. 90% things happening because of Java. 10% because of my network. So in life, 2 things are very important. 2 things are very important. Number 1, in which domain you are good, you should be master in that subject. My domain is Java. I should be master in Java. Got it? And next, people calls me Java Natras. I feel very happy. People calls me Java Natras. I'm very, very happy to have Java as my surname. Java as my first name. I don't have any problem. If any technical possibility is there, I will remove my original surname. I don't mind keeping this surname. Java as my surname. You know, like some people even given suggestions to me. Okay, why don't you give your kids' names as what? Spring Boot. Okay, web services. But somehow my family members did not agree for it. But actually, I tried to do, but not happen. Okay, because the people who are so deeply involved in communism, they will try to give what, guys? They try to give their kid names as what? Great communism leader names. Stalin, Lenin, this kind of names they will give now boss for their kids. So as a software guy, as a Java guy, our kid name should be what? Our kid name should be what? Spring Boot, JDBC, Servlet, are new names, Angular JS, Angular JS, DevOps, cloud computing. And if you look at some English names, boss, sometimes you will be surprising by listening their names, right? Sometimes you will be surprising by listening names. Same thing here, right? Okay, guys. So look at this theory now. Acha, Lambak is good, huh? Acha, Sanku Jade, now you can give Lambak, your kid name as Lambak. Okay, Lambak Raju. No, you give names like this, it will be very funny. Spring Sita, Spring Boot Mahesh. Okay, Lambak API Raju. Yes, na boss. Angular Rani, right? Jakarta Rohit. Super. Super, guys. Now let's come into discussions, guys. Main class or target class, bank service, withdraw only primary logic, right? Deposit only primary logic. Are you noticing it, guys? Withdraw only primary logic, deposit only primary logic, right now, boss? Super. Tell me. Login aspect, login logics. Caching aspect, caching logics. Security aspect, security logics. All these are given as inputs to AOP enabled software na boss, like Spring AOP, Axpex AOP, JBoss AOP. These are the different AOP enabled software. Nothing but AOP softwares, right? Super boss. Now listen, I can give inputs to this AOP enabled software. I can give inputs to this AOP enabled software. Come on. Either through XML configurations or through annotation configurations. Are you listening my statement? Either through XML configuration or through annotation driven configuration. What kind of instructions, guys? Listen, on deposit method, I want only caching and logging logics. On withdraw method, I want only security logics. Like this, I can specify the logics or not. Like that, I can specify the logics or not. I want reply. Like that, I can specify the logics or not. I can give instruction either through XML or annotation configuration. See, guys, this will generate one dynamic Java class, guys. Dynamic Java class as the subclass of main class. Main class or target class. What is target class? Bank service. Dynamically generated class. Why it is called proxy class? Proxy means temporary thing. It is created dynamically at runtime on temporary basis. It is created dynamically at runtime on temporary basis. That's why proxy class. During your college days, in certain faculty period, you might have given proxy attendance to your friend. You might have given proxy attendance to your friend. Say something, my dear. That is forever or temporary. You did that work forever or temporary basis. You did that work forever or on temporary basis. This class also dynamically generated at what time? Runtime. Runtime. Once application execution is over, this class will disappear. That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class. That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class, right? That's the reason we call this class as what? Proxy class. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Getting my point? Tell me. Public proxy class extends bank service. Some zigzag name dynamically generated class na. IOC container created class dynamically at runtime. Some zigzag name will be there. For in-memory proxy class, the source code generation, compilation, execution takes place in the JVM memory of the application or project. This class creation, compilation, okay, execution, object creation, everything happens in the JVM memory of the application. Okay, guys. Tell me, in withdraw method, both primary and secondary logics are mixed up according to these XML inputs. In deposit method, both primary and secondary logics are mixed up according to XML inputs. Right now, boss? So that means at the time of development, they are separated. But the things are mixed up dynamically at what time? Runtime. Now listen carefully. I changed instruction XML file. Again, I rerun the application. Okay, new proxy class will come according to new instructions or not. That means when you enable secondary logics on primary logic, when you enable security on deposit method, disable security on deposit method, are you going to give any disturbance to source code or primary logics code and secondary logics code? No. Everything is given dynamically through XML instruction, and accordingly in-memory proxy class is generated dynamically or not. The AOP enabled software dynamically creates in-memory proxy class having both primary and secondary logics. In business method, as guided to AOP enabled software in XML configuration or annotation configuration. Are you listening my statement? Are you getting my point here, guys? Alexa, activate balcony central light.
Okay.
Target class is given. Aspects are given, right? In-memory proxy class is generated, right now, boss? Super. Okay, now listen. OOP style programming is like tea from regular hotel, where milk decoction primary logics are mixed up with sugar, ilachi powder, ginger paste kind of secondary logics while delivering the tea itself. AOP style programming is like tea from five-star hotel, where milk decoction and sugar, ilachi powder, ginger paste kind of secondary logics will be delivered separately to customer. But customer will mix them before drinking as needed. Before drinking as needed. Right now, boss? Are you understanding my statement? For every secondary logic, you are taking separate class. But how many times you are writing? One time. But how many places you can apply them? In one business method or multiple business method? Multiple business method. So don't you think they are looking like a verticals? Don't you think they are looking like a verticals? Trilochan Nayak, I think everything is good now, boss. What's your problem? Am I not visible, guys? Am I not visible? Okay, guys. See, guys, development times, primary and secondary logics are developed separately. All those inputs are given to AOP enabled softwares. This AOP enabled software generates in-memory proxy class dynamically. This AOP enabled software generates in-memory proxy class dynamically. Are you getting my point? John Chaudhary, problem is your side. Check your network bandwidth. Am I audible, guys? Am I visible and audible? Am I loud and clear? Yeah, John Chaudhary, check your side. Okay, guys. Now look at this normal Java class. .java file is saved where? Hard disk. After compilation, .class file comes where? Again in hard disk, right? Come on, come on. Okay. That .class file goes to JVM and JVM takes the .class file and executes the .class file in the JVM memory of the RAM. In the JVM memory of the RAM. This is a normal class. This is the working style of normal class. Right now, boss? Super. This is working style of normal class, boss. Tell me. For in-memory proxy class, guys, application or project is executed. Where? In the JVM. Generation of source code. Generation of byte code. Execution of byte code. Runtime class generation, compilation, execution takes place in the JVM memory where the application or project runs. So it is called dynamically generated proxy class. Since proxy class is generated in the memory where application is generated, nothing but JVM memory of the RAM. Nothing but JVM memory of the RAM. This generated proxy class source code, byte code will be destroyed at the end of the application execution as JVM memory vanishes. Array, okay, when class is created, runtime. Where? JVM memory. Where compiled? In the JVM memory. Where it is executed? In the JVM memory. Got it, my dear? Where it is executed? In the JVM memory. Clear, my dear? Runtime class generation, compilation, execution, everything happening in the JVM memory. I hope you understood the difference between normal class and proxy class, guys. Normal class, .java in hard disk, .class file in hard disk. Execution only in the runtime, JVM memory of the RAM, right? Only execution takes place in the JVM memory of the RAM. Super, guys. Next one. When it comes to in-memory proxy class, first application executes. Then proxy class is created, source code is created, byte code is generated. Okay, byte code is executed. Everything is happening dynamically in the JVM memory of the RAM or not? Come on, my dear. So this, look at this class now. All these are normal classes where primary and secondary logics are placed. All these are given as inputs to whom? AOP enabled software. And this in-memory proxy class is generated where primary and secondary logics will be mixed up. Super, guys. Advantages of AOP style programming. Now observe, here primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is a clean separation between logics. Agree with me, guys? There is a clean separation between logics. Convinced, my dear? Convinced or not, my dear? Here primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is a clean separation between logics. Come on, my dear. See, primary logic separately, secondary logic separately. Cool, guys. Next one. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logics, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logic across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes. Multiple business methods of multiple business logic. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Multiple primary logics. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Tell me. Here, primary and secondary logics are not mixed up. So there is clean separation between logics, guys. Understanding my statement? Super, boss. Tell me next. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logics, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logics. Are you understanding my statement? Across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes, nothing but multiple primary logics. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Understanding my statement? Using XML or annotation configurations, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code. Without disturbing his source code. Getting my point? Using XML or annotation configuration, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code. Without disturbing the source code. Come on, guys. Right now, boss. Since secondary logics are separated from primary logic, so we can say secondary logics are reusable logics across the multiple business methods of multiple service classes. So nothing but multiple primary logics, boss. Nothing but multiple primary logics. Cool. Using XML or annotation configuration, we can enable or disable secondary logics from primary logics without disturbing the source code of primary logics, right? We can enable or disable Rabab. It is industry standard approach to develop the application. Allows to have loose coupling between secondary and primary logic. What do you mean by secondary and primary logics loose coupling, boss? The degree of dependency is very less or not? Okay, guys. The degree of dependency is very less or not? Syed, background noise is from Mazid. Should I say what is that then? I think you know the better. Allows to have loose coupling between secondary and primary logic. The degree of dependency is less. Are you able to feel? Are you able to feel five-star hotel tea service? It is looking like five-star hotel tea service. Is it not looking like five-star hotel tea service, boss? Is it not looking like five-star hotel tea service, boss? All advantages, whatever problems I said with OOP style programming, all problems are solid AOP style programming. What do you say, guys? Super, guys. Now listen. Target class. Overview diagram of AO. Overview. AOP overview diagram. AOP overview diagram. Target class primary logic. Aspect 1, aspect 2, aspect 3. All these are secondary logics. Secondary logics are also called aspects, right? Aspects, cross-cutting concerns, secondary logics, all are same. All these are given to AOP-enabled software. Nothing but Spring AOP or Aspects AOP kind of thing. This internally uses CZ-lib or JDK libraries. CZ means code generation libraries, boss. CZ-lib means code generation libraries to generate the proxy classes dynamically. To generate the proxy class dynamically, right now, boss? This generated proxy class contains mix of both primary and secondary logics or not? Mixing of both primary and secondary logics or not? I want reply. So this contains both mixing of primary and secondary logics. Is that clear, guys? Target primary logics, aspect 1, aspect 2, aspect 3, which contains secondary logics. Come on. Both primary and secondary logics are given to AOP-enabled software. AOP-enabled software. Come on, guys. AOP-enabled software. Are you understanding my statement? This AOP-enabled software generates in-memory proxy class where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed up. Where both primary and secondary logics will be mixed up seriously. Enjoyed my statement, guys? Got the clarity, my dear? Okay, guys. I think now you got introduction to AOP. Yeah, what is single line statement about AOP, boss? AOP means aspect-oriented programming, which says develop primary and secondary logic independently and separately, mix them dynamically at runtime with the support of AOP-enabled software as needed, as required. As needed, as required. Only one thing you should remember: five-star hotel ticket. Primary logics are like what? Milk and decoction. Secondary logics are like what? Ilachi powder and ginger paste. Okay, both will be mixed up just before drinking, not already this way. Okay, development time, keep primary and secondary logic separated. Okay, give them as inputs to AOP-enabled software. And AOP-enabled software generates a dynamic proxy class, mixing up both primary and secondary logics dynamically at runtime. Mixing up both primary and secondary logics dynamically at runtime. Clear, my dear? Got the clarity, my dear? Come on. Are you understanding my statement? Are you understanding my statement? What the crystal clear picture? Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Okay, Raghavendra, tomorrow class not possible. Next class will be on Monday. Thank you, guys.